Good afternoon and welcome to this council meeting for Tuesday the 24th of February 2026. Please stand for the opening karakia. Tutawa mai ronga, tutawa mai raro, tutawa mai roto, tutawa mai waho, kia tau ai te manitu, te mauri ora, ki te katatawa, haumi e, hui e, tāki e. I have no apologies today. We've got a full house. Are there any conflicts of interest to declare? We're all good. No public forum today. No announcements by the Mayor. Are there any announcements by management?
None.
Just confirmation of minutes. Can I have a mover and a seconder for the confirmation of the draft minutes of the ordinary meeting of Council held on Thursday the 12th of February 2026 be confirmed as a true and accurate record of the meeting? I have a mover and a seconder. Deputy Mayor Crown, Councillor Crystal, would you like to speak to those? I'll put the motion on the table, on the floor. All those in favour, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Against? Calling for any minor matters not on the agenda. Deputy Mayor Crown.
Thank you. Through you, Mr Mayor, I'd like to have a minor matter around councillor communication. Thank you.
Yep. You've got that recorded. We come back to it. Yep. Now we have one agenda item today, and that is the 25 to 2028 triennial agreement, and it's on page 5 of the agenda. The presenter for this report today is Anna Eadie. And we'll come to the front here.
Kia ora koutou. Through the chair, this report is to present you the draft triennial agreement for council to consider today. Section 15 of the Local Government Act requires that a triennial agreement is adopted by the 1st of March following an election. The Hawke's Bay Local Leaders Forum have considered the agreement and have endorsed this draft document in front of you. The other councils, signatory councils, will be considering this agreement tomorrow. If there were any suggested amendments, they would have to be considered by those councils before they could be included. Happy to take questions.
Deputy Mayor Crown.
Thank you. Through the chair. I note in the agreement there is nothing explicit about delegation if the Mayor or the CE is absent from those meetings. So I'm just seeking clarification as to whether that defaults to organisations, delegations, or whether there is an agreement at the group level as to how that kind of situation is.
Sorry, through the chair, which meetings are you referring to? The local leaders meetings?
Yes.
I presume the deputy or appointed delegate could.
Through the chair, I think those discussions were had at the new triennium with the new mayors, but I don't know it was formalised at that time.
Okay.
Any
Sorry, supplementary. Can that information be just come back, I suppose, as an action or something like that, just to confirm so that there's clarity for everyone?
Yeah, so just through the chair, that decision hasn't been made. It was raised at the mayors and chairs meeting, but there's been no action. So as soon as there is a decision from that group, we'll share that with you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Do I have a mover and a seconder for the officer's recommendation? Councillor Lawrence, Councillor Mawson, would you like to speak to the item?
No.
Councillor Mawson?
Just procedural. It's good to have something in place for our meetings with everyone else.
Yep, cool. Anyone else wish to speak to the agenda item? No. I now put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. We'll now come back to our minor matter. Deputy Mayor Crown.
Thank you, through you, Mr Chair.
Excuse me, I'm having difficulty. Is the mic system working? I can't.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but
Oh.
I can't hear Councillor Brown.
Oh, sorry.
Can you test your mic, please?
Sorry.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. In the interest of transparency of communication today, I'm tabling a piece of correspondence with councillors and commenting for the record on what I believe is a gross miscarriage of due and fair process. The document I am circulating to you now, and if I could ask governance to take these and distribute them, please, was described to me as a script and initially read verbally during my weekly catch-up with Mayor Richard. Traditionally, we meet for lunch so as to accommodate his schedule. However, yesterday's meeting was moved to a 2 p.m. time slot and to his office. It was here that he read from the script. You will see he formally requests I resign from the Deputy Mayor role, stating that if I did not, he would remove me from the role some 3 hours later. He refused to discuss this with me and shut the meeting down within 5 minutes of me walking in. I was absolutely blindsided. You'll see the reasons given are punctuated by 2 bullet points and a paragraph that summarise claims of a relationship breakdown. I want you all to know that this is the first time any concerns had been raised with me regarding trust, confidence, my behaviour or performance in the role. My interpretation of the next part of the script, where Mayor Richard confirms that I would retain all other senior roles and appointments, is that it is an acknowledgement of my professional leadership, capability, work ethic and commitment to being an effective elected member. There are 2 reasons besides transparency that I am motivated to bring this to the table today. Firstly, challenging one another and holding each other to account is a key part of the role of being an elected member. A healthy governance culture invites diversity of thought and open conversation. The signals being sent by the abrupt nature of the Mayor's actions are that this is about control and coercion, demonstrating there is an unfettered power attached to their role, and invoking it with no consultation with the key affected party is akin to expecting blind allegiance. We are living in a time when the ramifications of blind allegiance to leaderships is causing unrest and upheaval for individuals, families and political systems across the world. It is certainly not healthy governance practice and falls below the standard I believe our team aspire to operate at and the measure by which we hold ourselves to ratepayers and residents. As I was mentioned, secondly, the responsibility to consider natural justice. Natural justice is the fundamental principle of procedural fairness. This is about the process rather than the outcome. As mentioned, yesterday at 2 p.m. was the first time that any concern as to the working relationship had been raised either verbally or in writing. An initial 3-hour deadline to agree to resign was later changed to today at 5 p.m. in recognition of natural justice and being a fairer and more reasonable response. In order to protect future elected members, the organisation and ratepayers, it would be remiss of me not to seek a judicial review on the decision-making process triggered by the Mayor's actions. Unfortunately, this will incur cost and use of resources to the Council. I've requested further clarification of what this could be. I'm a firm believer that titles do not determine the effectiveness of the person who holds them. In fact, the substance of effectiveness in this role is provided by the mandate of the people who chose us to sit around the table, the relationships and collaborative nature of working with dedicated and skilled staff, the trust placed in us daily by residents and local organisations that reach out to us to support, advocate and assist them in navigating council processes, and of course, our culture of governance. The ability to respectfully agree to disagree, to interrogate information and challenge each other openly in good faith is critical to good governance. Every elected member here has the right to maintain their integrity to comment on how they think about any issue. I want to take this opportunity to reassure our community that regardless of the leadership example being set for us by the Mayor at this time, I will not be coerced or bullied into staying silent. and I will continue to act with courage, challenge where appropriate, and look for opportunities for all of us to work constructively to raise the level of governance quality within our council. The motion I am bringing to my colleagues today is in response to the emerging pattern of negatively charged communications triggered by seemingly ad hoc, chaotic, and reckless decisions by our Mayor. These present significant reputational and effectiveness risks to our organisation, and I consider that we need to act with haste if we want to support him to be successful. I also acknowledge that sometimes experience in certain areas is limited, and it is therefore imperative that plugging vital knowledge gaps needs to take place early in the tenure of any elected member. I'm happy to provide my motion to governance, and I move that we direct staff to bring a paper with a communications training and leadership development plan for the mayoral role, and that this be funded from the allocated professional development budget. Thank you. Would you like me to provide that too? Thank you. Sure.
Just get the, see if others.
Once you get the motion.
Well, it's no motion. It's just written.
I have emailed that to you, Carolyn, yes.
You happy there? Yep. Would anyone else like to speak?
Or second?
Yeah,
Well, we can't.
yes, please, just through the mayor. I mean, obviously this is getting into specifics, but the specifics were mentioned. I'm just wondering if Deputy Mayor Crown would like to, I've not had any erratic, what was your wording with some emails, erratic emails or
Communications? Communications. So the instances that I'm referring to, I would say, relate to communication, and so it's not just emails, but communication in general. So meetings or comments around pre-Christmas when we had the Māori representation discussion. Following that, another communication that caused what I think to be or raise reputational risk for the organisation, which would be around the resignation of the prior EA, and this would be the third one, the process around how the communication has been shared. Thank you.
So through the, sorry.
Sorry, you're commenting on the leak?
I beg your pardon?
Are you commenting on the leak? You talked about the EA. I'm just wondering, is that something to do with the leak?
The executive assistant's resignation.
Yeah. Which was leaked to the media? Are you talking about that?
I'm
Guys,
talking about the
can we come through the chair
So-
if you wish to
Yeah.
speak? But yeah, this is,
So through the chair, obviously, this is a minor matter, so we can't resolve it. Can I put a suggestion on the table that we take as an action? So thank you for sharing that with her. The officers will take it for an action. We'll look at it and we will bring it back through proper council process, if that's okay with you. So we can clarify with Deputy Mayor Crown what the issues are. We can put that together in a paper and we can bring that through proper process.
Councillor Isaac Charlin.
Through the Mayor. Okay, this is the first time I've heard of it, so mind my questioning. I know that you would like to do that process, Louise, but I just have a couple of questions that I'd like to ask because my brain is whizzing. And the question is directed at Sally. So if I'm hearing correctly, has there been a right of reply? Just so I'm just getting to terms with standing orders, and that was a couple of the things that I've started to get to that page. Did I hear that? Was there a chance for you to provide a right of reply?
Sorry, just it might help. So it depends which part you're referring to. If it's the first part of Deputy Mayor Crown's position, then that's a different process to the minor matter, which we're going to bring back to you in relation to the Mayor's support for the Mayor's communication. So I guess it depends which part, and we may just have to defer to our committee advisor as to how we progress, depending on which part of the Deputy Mayor's statement you're referring to.
Where she said she was given until 5 p.m. and then that was removed and then she was given until 5 p.m. today. Did I mishear that?
Thank you for the question. That is correct. Initially, I was given until 5 o'clock yesterday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. My interpretation is that I was then given until 5 o'clock today in recognition of trying to facilitate a more fair and reasonable process. But the meeting was 5 minutes, and repeatedly it was attempted to be shut down, and I asked a number of questions but was given no response.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions?
Yep.
Councillor Price.
What sort of urgency will be put on this? Because I think it needs to be dealt with pretty quickly.
So again, it depends which part you're referring to. If it's the first part of Deputy Crown's commentary, that's a matter between...
I'm referring to her request, that's what we're having.
Yeah, we'll take it as an action. Obviously, we'll look at it and bring it back as soon as we can. So, yeah, it will be dealt with urgency, but I can't, at this time, until I've spoken to the teams, give you a date. But it will be as soon as we can. And as you know, we always get stuff back to you quickly, but it might not be by the end of this week in terms of having a paper to bring through to the next committee meeting or council. We'll do our best.
Councillor Taylor.
Can I just seek some clarification from the Chief Executive? When you're saying about the two parts to Councillor Crown's or Deputy Mayor Crown's position, one part is the fact that she's been asked to resign, and the second part is her request for this
Media
action.
train.
Are you saying we cannot discuss the first part?
You can discuss the first part if you want, but obviously that's also a relationship between the Deputy Mayor and the Mayor. So obviously you can discuss that, but that's a different direction to the action that I'm taking. So I just wanted the clarity is the action that I'm taking for our staff is for the exploring media training and comms support for the Mayor. So just being clear that the two aren't confused, because
Yes.
that's the action I'm taking is around the communication.
So I'd just like to refer to the first part because the other is an action that's going to come in the future. So I'm just concerned that this decision has very wide-ranging implications, and I would like to think that there is an opportunity for some conciliatory discussion around this decision. I think there's huge reputational risk for this council and this city as a result of what's been put before us today. And I'm not sure how this is going to proceed, but I understand that from this information that we've been given, that there was a decision for 5 o'clock yesterday. That has been extended to 5 o'clock today, if I understand correctly. And I think that is still very short, sharp, and I think placing this council and this city at extreme risk. And I would like some discussion on whether there's a conciliatory way that this can be dealt with rather than such a sledgehammer approach.
So
Maybe the Mayor who
I
was-
can't, I'm afraid I
No.
can't answer that for
Yeah.
you.
Yep, and I won't be commenting at this stage.
Okay.
Councillor Price.
Just a sort of getting the knowledge. Can the Mayor dismiss the deputy? Because the appointment is a council appointment, isn't it?
I'll seek advice from our governance team.
Kia ora, through the chair. The Mayor is given powers through the Local Government Act. They can choose to appoint their Deputy Mayor. If they choose to appoint their deputy mayor, they are also able to remove that appointment. If the mayor chooses to forgo their powers under section, I think it's 41A, and it's put to the council to make the decision who the deputy is, then the mayor could not remove them. In this instance, Mayor McGrath appointed Deputy Mayor Sally Crown, so he is able to legally remove that appointment. Yeah.
Are there any further questions? Councillor Raihania?
Through the Mayor. I just want it highly noted that this is also a huge concern from my perspective, and just learning of this matter today without transparent and collective, robust leadership discussions, and I just want that noted.
If there's no further questions, that's been noted down here. That concludes the business of the meeting. Can we please stand for the closing karakia? Kia tū, ki runga i iwi katoa, kia piki toa, ka, me te māramatanga, i ngā wā katoa, ti hei, mauriora.